Ladies and gentlemen, the treble winners tournament rolls on. Today, the semi-finals. First between the 99 Manchester United team and the 2009 Barcelona side. Barca is also in the other semi-final. That Luis Enrique team of 2015 against Inter in 2010. But right now we will discuss the 99 United team against the 09 Barca team to see who goes through. We've talked at length about both of these teams. It's the Sextete Barcelona up against one of the most clutch teams in the last, 30 years, that Fergie Manchester United side. How are we feeling about this one, boys?
Can I just say, shout out to, was this your idea?
No, this was not my idea.
Shout out to whoever's idea this was, because TWT Treble Winners Tournament has taken the socials by storm. Everybody's talking about this. So yeah, this is a big match.
I've got loads of Man United fans calling me up saying, what's going on? We would easily beat them. But I think it's going to be tighter than this one.
If you're just tuning in, Manchester United only lost 5 games in all competitions the entire season. That was a Charity Shield game, a League Cup game, and 3 matches in the Prem. They trailed twice in the UCL semi-final tie, and then they trailed after 6 minutes. Obviously, in the final, we know how epic that ended up being, winning it with that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer goal. They scored 80 goals in the Prem. 12 more than any other team that season, and they won the title with a comeback win against Spurs on that final match day. On the other hand, Barcelona, it was Barca's first league title in 3 seasons, Pep's first season in charge of Barcelona, and Messi was nearing the peak of his powers. He scored 38 goals and 17 assists. Wow, in all competitions, and it was his first career Ballon d'Or. And as mentioned, they did win the Sextete, which is the other 3 trophies available to them, which would be the Supercopa de España, the Spanish Super Cup, the Supercopa de Europa, the European Super Cup, which were played like almost one after the other, right? In that time, instead of now in like halfway through the season in like Saudi Arabia. Correct. And then at the end, like in December, against Estudiantes de La Plata, right? That's when Zlatan was already on the team, when he scores with his chest in the Club World Cup in 2009. So, guys, let's take a look at the All-22 and break down this matchup. Messi, Eto'o, Henry, the front 3. Do you think, we talked about the physicality and the presence about this Manchester United team, Jay, and how much they would hack you if they needed to hack you, set the tone. Do you think they could do that against this front 3? I mean,
I think Roy Keane might get sent off before the game in this one, because he will just know that I'm in business here. Scholes, Keane, Giggs. You know, I think it will be a closer game than what you would think against this, Barcelona side, just because there's some experienced players there and some top players there. I mean, every player, pretty much every midfielder we speak to, they all say Scholes is one of the best midfielders out there. And then obviously you've got one of the best leaders in Keane. Beckham was at the peak of his powers, and in Giggs, you know, he's a Premier League legend. But it's just going to be really difficult to stop Messi. I would say that Henry, at this period at Barcelona, he wasn't the Henry that was Arsenal, even though he was still really effective. But it's just going to be really difficult.
How big of a game does Peter Schmeichel need to have?
He's going to be busy, I think.
He's going to be very busy.
I think the question is, this Manchester United side wouldn't be used to being completely dominated. The way that this Barcelona would have the ball and completely have United on the back foot in a way that they wouldn't be accustomed to play. This United team was used to having the ball, used to dominating games, used to sweeping teams apart. And I think it would be very difficult for them to adapt to that mentally.
I'll tell you as well, one thing I would say is the wingers here, the fullbacks, Gary Neville, David Beckham, Dennis Irwin, Ryan Giggs, they're going to make Messi and Henry do a lot of defensive work going that way, because in the Premier League at this point, this was the most attacking side. And it was always Gary Neville overlapping or backing up David Beckham when he puts balls in the box, and vice versa with Giggs and Irwin. So I think that would be the biggest matchup for Barcelona. But then you look at the rest of the Barcelona players, that midfield, that's just unbelievable.
Is there anybody from this United team that could break into this team?
I mean, this is possibly one of the best 11s of all time in terms of club football.
Schmeichel, perhaps.
I reckon Stam for PK.
Okay.
I think Stam for PK. I would hate to play against Stam. I'm going to be honest with you.
But then, yeah, it's difficult because then Stam wouldn't fit into this Barcelona team in terms of what he could do with the ball at his feet. I don't know. Yeah, maybe Schmeichel. Maybe
What'd you say?
Schmeichel. But
Dennis Irwin for Aberdeen? No.
no, definitely not.
Prime gigs against Henry. Prime gigs.
Maybe Henry in this position.
Yeah, yeah.
So is Ryan Giggs a better left winger at his peak than Henry as a left winger at his peak? I could understand an argument being made. I wouldn't agree with it, but yeah, I could understand an argument.
By the way, Barcelona does beat Manchester United in the final in 2009, and the longevity of certain players on this Manchester United team actually played in that final. It says a lot. Scholes, Giggs.
Gary Neville was on. He didn't actually play, but he was in the squad. I mean, it just doesn't happen anymore where you have
10
one
years
player.
down the line.
Exactly. You know that. Sorry.
No, that 2009 final you mentioned with that header from Messi, that unbelievable header.
You know what the
Has he
thing
ever
was?
scored a goal like that?
You know what the thing was? I remember that goal when he just picked his boot up off the floor and started running with it in his hand. That's the most memorable thing about that goal for me, because you don't see, was he 5'7" max? Like rising there, the timing of the header, it was a great goal.
All right, let's go position for position on the field. Defense, including the goalkeepers, who do you give the edge to here?
I think I'm gonna go with the Man United defence.
Okay, then
Sure.
I'll go with Barcelona, and Nico has to decide.
No, I think I'll give Manchester United here. I think they do have a better goalkeeper, and they're going to have to be doing a lot more defending in this game.
But
I
they've
believe.
got actual defenders now.
Yeah,
right.
You know, we're not talking about fullbacks that overlap. How good are they attacking?
Yeah,
we're
like
talking
the
about
modern-
defenders that love defending, love kicking people.
Right,
You know,
right.
love
Getting down and
blocking,
dirty.
Exactly.
Yeah,
the hard yards.
Let's go with Manchester United for defense, because then midfield and attack, I find it difficult to not choose Barcelona here.
I mean, that's the greatest midfield of all time. So, yeah.
Yeah, like, midfield's not a question, and attack also. If you have Messi, Eto'o, Henry.
You can't really go if Messi's not there, then maybe.
obviously
But
attack
Messi
is
being there
Barcelona,
is
that's
like,
what I
yeah.
mean.
Okay,
You know,
coach.
See, that's a really good question, I think, because obviously with Alex Ferguson, he took this team from a mediocre Man United side when he took over to being the most dominant team probably the most dominant team in Premier League history. So I think that's a difficult one. I think I would probably go Alex Ferguson.
Yep, it's Pep. Definitely Pep. Definitely Pep.
I mean,
who would you trust if you had to shift something and change the game, if it wasn't going the right way, to come up with a plan to form it? I would trust Pep over
I would
Alex
choose
Ferguson.
Pep.
Okay, hold on.
I think
Hold on.
this team is a reference point on the football timeline.
Okay, but do you think Pep could take a mediocre Man United side to be one of the most dominant sides? And Pep inherited this time.
We're not talking about that.
Yeah.
We're talking about this United
game,
team,
my friend.
and
We're talking about this game.
We're talking about the coach.
I think that's a rabbit hole you can definitely go down. But who's got the better coach with their respective teams? I think
We'll go Pep then.
Yeah.
I think Pep, with no disrespect, please. Comments. Understand that. No disrespect.
I think there's a bit of bias here
Sir
with the Spanish,
Alex Ferguson. Intangibles, I'll give it to United.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Okay. For the aura, for the mentality, for the ability to keep going and keep fighting and keep battling. Okay.
Fergie time.
Fergie time.
Fergie time all the time.
All right.
It was tight.
Who do you think? Who do you think is going to win this game? Who do we give the edge to?
I mean, to be honest, I can't see beyond that midfield there. Like Phil said, one of the probably the greatest midfield ever, and then you got probably the greatest attacker in Messi as well. So I can't see past that.
Barca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a tight game.
2-0, I'd say.
Tighter than the 2009
Yeah.
final.
2-0, I'd say.
2-0?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think
But a tight
no,
2-0.
hold on. I think Man United would score. York and Cole. I mean, we forgot to talk about them, but they're top players and they had great seasons that year. I'm going to go for a 3-2.
3-2? Okay, 2-1. I say by one. So Barcelona is through to the final. Congrats, Blaugrana. The 2009 team is into the treble winner tournaments final. I don't have my phone to ask ChatGPT, but who cares what ChatGPT thinks about this?